Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to another lesson with Master Everyday English. In today's lesson, we're at the airport. One of the most difficult things about the airport is when you have to listen for an announcement. That's when the airline give you some information about your flight. Now, normally this comes over the PA system. And often it sounds a little bit like this.
Passenger Aaron and Fred Collins, booked on flight 772 to Kansas City. Please proceed to reading.
And that's very, very difficult to understand, even if you are a native English speaker. In today's lesson, we're going to get some practice listening to those announcements and understanding them. Let's look at some of the vocabulary that's useful to you if you're listening very carefully to an announcement at the airport. Boarding. This just means that you can now get on the airplane. Final checks. Final checks means that the airplane is ready to go. The announcement is really to tell you that they are now closing the doors to the airplane and they won't let any more passengers onto the plane. Pre-boarding. This is for a small number of select passengers. It's normally people like active military or business class or first class passengers. Final boarding. This announcement tells you that they are still boarding the plane, but it's really you have to get there as fast as you can if you still want to catch the flight. Final boarding call. This is normally the final announcement that they'll make for specific passengers. So if you hear your name and it says final boarding, then that means that you really have to get to your gate and to your airplane as fast as you can because you probably only have a few more minutes to catch your flight. Inclement weather. They sometimes use this word in announcements to tell you that the weather is too bad for the airplane to fly. Either your plane is delayed, which means it goes at a later time, or it's cancelled, which means there is no more plane and you'll have to take a different flight. Now let's listen to some announcements. See how much of these announcements you can understand. Listen to it one time, and this is just like you'll hear in the airport. Then I'll play it again slower and clearer to see if you can understand all of the announcement.
All passengers traveling on flight 74 to Denver, now boarding at gate 7.
Now let's listen to it again, slowly, and read the subtitles.
All passengers traveling on flight 744 to Denver, now boarding at gate 7.
Now they're going to start getting a little bit more difficult. So listen again to the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, United Flight 1017 to Calgary has been delayed by 1 hour due to a technical issue. Passengers are advised to make their way to gate 34 and wait board instructions.
And remember, if you want to go back to the beginning, listen to them again. It's really good listening practice for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, United Flight 1017 to Calgary has been delayed by 1 hour due to a technical issue. Passengers are advised to make their way to gate 34 and await boarding instructions.
This is the final boarding call for passengers Aaron and Fred Collins, booked on flight 772 to Kansas City. Please proceed to gate 3 immediately. The final checks are completed and the captain will order the doors of the aircraft to close in approximately 5 minutes time. I repeat, this is the final boarding call for Aaron and Fred Collins.
Now there's a lot of information there, so let's listen to it again, listening to it nice and slowly, and you can also read the announcement as well.
This is the final boarding call for passengers Aaron and Fred Collins, booked on Flight 372 to Kansas City. Please proceed to Gate 3 immediately. The final checks are being completed, and the captain will order for the doors of the aircraft to close in approximately 5 minutes' time. I repeat, this is the final boarding call for Aaron and Fred Collins.
Good, you're doing great. Let's listen to another one.
Good afternoon, passengers. This is the pre-boarding announcement for Flight 890 to Rome. We are now inviting those passengers with small children and any passengers requiring special assistance to begin boarding. Please have your boarding pass and identification ready. Regular boarding will begin approximately 10 minutes time. Thank you.
Now let's listen to it again, nice and slowly, and you can also read along with the announcement.
Good afternoon, passengers. This is the pre-boarding announcement for Flight 89B to Rome. We are now inviting those passengers with small children and any passengers requiring special assistance to begin boarding. Regular boarding will begin in approximately 10 minutes' time.
Now, if you're understanding all of this, you're doing fantastic. So now let's try one more time.
This is an announcement for all passengers traveling on the 750 American Airlines flight to New York. Due to inclement weather conditions in the tri-state area, the flight has been canceled. All passengers are advised to contact the airline information desk for details of alternative flight arrangements.
That was difficult, so if you need to, go back, rewind the video, listen again.
This is an announcement for all passengers traveling on the 750 American Airlines flight to New York. Due to inclement weather conditions in the tri-state area, the flight has been canceled. All passengers are advised to contact the airline information desk for details of alternative flight arrangements.
If you're enjoying this video, please go to my channel, Master Everyday English, and check out some of my other videos. They're all connected to life and work in the United States. Now let me answer some of the questions you might have if you're at the airport and you have to listen to an announcement in English. What should I do if I hear an announcement and I don't understand, but I think it's important? The first thing to do is to try to ask another passenger waiting for the airplane. If you're unsure exactly how to ask, you could say something like, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Did you hear what the announcement said?" Or, "I'm sorry, I didn't understand the announcement. Did you hear what they said?" Now, you could also go to the information desk if you're in the main airport. Now, in this case, you might need to say something like this. "I think I heard an announcement about my flight number blah, 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 to blah, blah. Do you know what they said?" Or, "I think I heard them say something about my flight. It's flight number blah, 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 going to blah, blah. Could you tell me what they said, please?" Another thing to remember is very often in the airport, when they make an announcement, they normally make the announcement twice. So if you didn't hear it the first time, normally if you stop and listen, they should repeat the announcement a second time. What announcements will I hear at my gate while I'm waiting for my plane? The normal things that you can expect to hear at the gate are normally connected to your flight. So, for example, if the flight is delayed, if the flight is late, if the flight is cancelled, that means there's no more flight. Also, you will hear them asking for the different boarding groups. That means the different groups of people going onto the plane at different times. It's different between different airlines how they do this, but normally the first few groups of people are people like the first class passengers, the business class passengers, active military, people with special needs, families with young children. So you'll hear these groups called first. Then you'll have normally the second group of passengers, and normally that's connected to the number you find on your boarding pass. Okay, that's it for today. I hope this is useful for you if you are at an airport and you have to listen very carefully for those public announcements. If you enjoy the lesson, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and click to subscribe.